My name's Merylyn Hedger. I'm the Research Fellow at the University of Sussex Institute of Development Studies. Previously, I was head of the UK Climate Impacts Programme, and I think that many elements of the UKCIP model could be applied in developing countries. Basically, UKCIP has worked as a technical unit of real expertise and provided capacity to train and build awareness amongst a wide range of organisations. It's also, I don't think everyone realises, worked very differently over time. So we started off actually trying to engage organisations in undertaking research on climate change impacts, so that at some distant point they could see how they would have to work on adaptation. Of course, with increased science over the last 12 years, we now know that we really do have to start working on adaptation now. So the focus has moved to actually engage with organisations to work out their adaptation strategies. The reason that UKCIP was successful, and what is important were any similar models to be applied elsewhere, is that it provided a small team of technical people who were available to work with a large number of different organisations at different scales of government and in different sphere, like NGOs, business organisations, to help them work out what climate change was going to mean for them, so that they could put that lens on all their activities. It's going to be impossible with climate change to create entire new departments and entire new empires of specialists, but what we have to do is to get climate change into everybody's day job. And that's where UKCIP has been very successful. It's provided a support service to people, the champions, the early champions who wanted to take on climate change, and it's provided them with networks and links to a broader community, and that's been very important to engage their confidence. In terms of what resources are needed, UKCIP wasn't provided with lots of resources to do research. Basically, what UKCIP was provided for by the government was with some critical core tools. The first one was the climate change scenarios, and we were very lucky in that we were able to produce a very accessible summary of what was expected at that time in terms of projections for climate change in the United Kingdom. We were able to provide a really readable summary of what climate change models are all about, what their limitations are, what their strengths are, but it made it really real to the people. And in fact, UKCIP's now had 3 different sets of climate scenarios, and again is leading the field with its new probabilistic scenarios. There was also another critical tool we developed, which was a risk and uncertainty decision-making framework, and that's been changed into an adaptation wizard tool, which is very accessible and can be got from their website. So basically, UKCIP worked because it had provided technical resources with some tools and basically support facilities, provided training programs, awareness-raising sessions, and has basically always been there for people when they've needed advice. But one unit placed centrally in a government structure is not necessarily going to be enough. I would particularly say that in some countries, such as India, where you've got a lot of action at state level, there will need to be a similar unit placed at the different levels of government. And one of the issues that would have to be looked at is how close to government does the unit be. We were placed quite deliberately in a university outside of government, although run very carefully from DTR and DEFRA. I think in developing countries you could look at what capacity there is in universities, what capacity there is in NGOs, and create some sort of self-standing agency. It would need to be linked into government because otherwise it would be ignored, but it would be stronger if it had links into universities and the NGO sector.